Man, Mike's not passionate, man. Let's see, my test. Cool. Yo, what's goody? He's calling me old head. That shit is crazy. We give everybody fucking till 12:07 to join. We'll give everybody 2 minutes. Let me go check on the food real quick. I'll be right back. Alright. Mike, I saw your message on Discord, by the way. I'm kind of booked today. Right after this session, I have 3 other one-on-ones that I gotta do. So I'm gonna, if I'm done on time, then I'll let you know, and we'll go do it today. If not, then we'll find another day in the week that we're both available. We'll go through that. I know Thursday I already have a session with Albert, so Thursday's the only day that's not available. It's all good. And I might not even be available on Thursday for Albert. We'll see. Alright, we're gonna get started. So what's going on, team? Welcome to this weekend's weekly market breakdown. Didn't do one for last week. It's kind of out of the city, so we're gonna update our charts. My charts are kind of updated. I didn't do anything for Thursday and Friday, so we'll update the 30-minute time frame accordingly. Again, this is the session where we're just gonna go over the market maker's pattern, talk about where we're at in the overall direction, update our daily highs and daily lows if we need to, update our 4-hour highs, 4-hour lows if we need to, update our 4-hour outlook, right? How many weeks of rise and drops do we have? Look for any continuations, and then do the same thing on the 30-minute. Look for 30-minute highs, 30-minute lows, and we'll talk about any continuations that we could be looking for. So again, any questions, any other pairs you guys want me to go over? The ones we're going to be going over today specifically are the ones that have the red flag next to their name, starting off with AU, finishing off with US oil. But if you guys have any questions about any other pair, whether or not they're on our list, just let me know and we'll go over them. So for AU, give me 1 second before we start actually. And if you guys want to hop in Discord, it's a open mic today. So if you guys have any questions, anything at all, just hop in the Discord. And I'm here. So AU, we are in A2. We're in the second zone of consolidation, looking for that third and final push to the bottom. We know that we still have this gap at the top of the market with AU. So again, same thing we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks with AU. right? There's two things that I'm looking for. I'm either going to be looking for price to give us a pullback back to the top side to fill this gap, and then we'll start the downtrend push, or we're going to be looking for price to simply just start the downtrend push, right? Give us the break, give us a retest, give us the push down to peak low, right? And then once we get down to peak low, obviously the trend will change. We'll start going from the M pattern back to the W pattern, and then this is where we'll start looking for price to go back up to the top sides, right? So these are the two possibilities that we have right now for AU. Now, which one is the right one to choose? Well, we just got to look for market structure. Right now in the daily time frame, we have no continuations. We now have 2 months where price has been moving sideways, right? But we could see that price structurally is still giving us higher highs and higher lows, right? We could see that on the daily time frame. Let me go ahead and mark this as just the daily time frame, so we're not seeing this in every single time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, again, we could see that price has started the uptrend push, right? Gave us a change of character. When we're looking at structure, lower low, lower high, higher high, lower low, higher high, price is just moving sideways here. Gave us a lower low, price then gave us a change of character, higher high, higher low, right? So if price decides to come back up and give us a break, retest, then we know we'll start that uptrend push. However, at this point, if price wants to start rejecting these highs and start making lower lows and lower highs, then we know we could catch those continuations back down to the bottom of the zone, right? Once we get down to the zone, this is when I'll stop trading, and again, we'll just be looking for the same thing. We're either going to be looking for price to do the same thing it did the last 2 times, where we rejected the lows and started going back up, or this is where price is going to give us the break, the retest to continue, right? So for right now, let's just focus on what's going on right now, right? So we know that we're still trading between the previous higher high and higher low. We had a week of drop last week. This week, price gave us a week of counter rise, right? Again, going against the trend. Still trading between the same 4-hour high and 4-hour low. And on the 30-minute time frame, price gave us higher highs and higher lows, right? Now these highs here, I'm not going to mark this as higher high, higher low, higher high, lower high. All of this is part of the same trend, right? So I'm going to mark this as our 30-minute highs up here. We had a day of no net on Thursday. Friday, price gave us a day of drop, no continuation. So right now we just got to be patient with AU, right? AU, we're in a situation where we could see that price wants to go down. However, we're still making higher highs and higher lows in the daily time frame, still making higher highs and higher lows in the 4-hour, and we're still making higher highs and higher lows on the 30-minute. So AU is going to be one of those pairs where, again, I'm going to be looking at it very closely, but I'm not going to really be trading it. Until I don't start seeing lower lows and lower highs, I'm not going to be trading AU. Right, so for AU, we're good. We're updated. We know what we want to look for. We just have to wait for price to make a decision on where it wants to go. We have no engulfing candles on the daily, no engulfing candles on the 4-hour, nothing really on the 1-hour either, nothing on the 30 minutes. So right now we're just going to be patient with AU, just let it move, do what it has to do, and then we'll go on from there. EA, we are in V2, right? We're in the second zone consolidation, looking for that break of structure, right? And we can see that price is finally going above. Now again, is this a valid break of structure? No. All of these candles are still touching the zone. If we could get another green candle to close above this green candle's wick without touching the zone, this will be the break of structure, and then this is where we'll be looking for the retest to continue. Right, now the question is, what type of retest are we going to get, right? Are we going to get a simple just break retest to continue? Are we going to get a steeper pullback into the 50 EMA, right? This is things that we just got to keep an eye on once we get to that. On the 4-hour, right, so right now on the daily, let's do this real quick. So on the daily time frame, right, did we get the candle closure above the zone? Yes. So technically we are still trading now between this higher low, right down here, right, and the new higher high. I'm not going to mark it just yet, but we are trading between this higher low and the higher high that was made. On the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour time frame looks good. 4-hour time frame gave us the break, and we're trading between the same 4-hour high and daily, 4-hour low and daily low. Same thing with the highs. So we know that we're trading now between this 4-hour low and these 4-hour highs up here. We have a week of rise last week. This week, price gave us 2 weeks of rise. Perfect. If we could start the week with a pullback, then we know this week we'll be able to catch that 3rd week push to the top side. So EA is looking good. 3rd week high. Let's look for any engulfing candles. Nothing on the 4, nothing on the daily. 1 hour, we don't have anything. 30-minute time frame, we have a lot of days where price has just been pushing to the top side. Right on Thursday, price finally gave us a no net, resets the trend. And then on Friday, price gave us a day of rise. And we know we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and higher high. Right. On the 4-hour time frame. Yep. I treat the weeks of rise, the months of rise, the 372s the same way. My point of interest to where my TP is going to be for this week is just going to be at that high. So what I want to see, right, good question. Right, so what I want to see after 2 weeks of rise, right, obviously, if we could get a pullback towards the end of the week, it's perfect, right, because we know we'll get a pullback, we'll look for an entry somewhere in this area over here, and we know that between Monday and Friday, right, so between the 10th and the 14th, I'll be looking for price to give me that new high. Now, could price go higher? Absolutely. Same thing with the 372, same things with the 3rd month of rise or drop. Price could definitely go higher. However, my first target is always going to be the previous high. I'm just expecting a new high to be made. The market makers, the only thing they have to do after the 372, after 3 months of rise, after 3 weeks of rise, the only thing they need to do is give you a new high. After they make that new high, price could go low. Right? So it's one of those things where 100% of the time they will give you that 3rd high or that 3rd drop. After that high or that low is made, the price could reverse and just do whatever it wants to do. Now, could it do the opposite where it's going to just continue the push? Absolutely. But for EA specifically, right now we're in a situation where we're in a higher high. We just created a break of structure. So after a break of structure, right after a higher high is made, what are we looking for? Exactly. We're looking for a pullback. So that's another reason why I'm always targeting just the previous highs. But I could also see here on the daily time frame we do have a gap in the market. We have a gap at the bottom in the daily time frame. With the gap, it resets the trend. So this could be an indicator, right? This is just a first indication. There's 2 things here to really note, right? Number 1, does that weekly high need to be made? No, because we have a gap in the market, resets the trend, right? With that being said, let's say we do get that push to the top side, right? What do we know about level 3? In level 3, what EMA do we want to bounce off on? Right? And if you notice how strategically placed this gap is, very close to the 50 EMA. So could we be seeing something where we're making higher high, higher low, higher high, and we're just going to get a pullback to fill this gap, which will also be the bounce off the 50 EMA. Right? So this is where understanding different points of of pullbacks and putting everything together, right? We understand that, okay, retail traders, when they're looking at structure like this where it's just straight green candles to the top side, what are the retail traders looking for? They're looking for the flag post pattern, right? So this is where the market makers are already winning, right? Because they understand that their first target, right? The market makers already understand that the first type of traders that are going to get into this trade are going to be the traders who are looking at this as a flag post pattern where price is going to just retest between 23.6 and 38.2 and go up. But understanding that we have this gap, right, we already have an upper hand, understanding that we might get a steeper pullback, and that pullback that we're going to get is going to be between 50% and the 61.8, right, which is also where the 50 EMA will be at. So these are going to be our 2 points of interest as to what price is going to do, right? So correct. Correct. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So EA is looking good. Let me write this on our trading daily watch list. 03/10/2025 watch list. Euro AUD third week high. Okay. For EU daily time frame, we are still in V1. We're still in the first zone consolidation, looking for that second push to the top side. Right now we have no continuations on the daily time frame. We have a month of rise. I hear my echo in the background, by the way. On the 4-hour time frame, we are trading between this 4-hour high. We have a week of rise, no continuations just yet. We still know we have this gap in the 30-minute time frame, right? And on the 30-minute time frame, we had 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down, and we ended up moving sideways. We got a day of no net, and then on Friday, price gave us a day of rise. And we know we're making higher high, higher low, higher high. So we're trading between this 30-minute high and these 30-minute lows. Now again, the fact that price gave us a gap at the bottom of the market, right? The fact that we've created a higher high, could we be expecting price to come back down to fill this gap? It's going to be a very steep pullback. Very steep pullback. However, on the daily time frame, we're right on the 800 EMA. Right? 800 EMA, price respects the 800 EMA. We also know that we're reaching the previous lower low, lower high that we had, right? Which is up here. So before I could even consider to take price to go back up, I either need to see price break these highs to continue, or I'm going to be looking for price to reject these highs. We're going to go down, right? Got a pullback. Once we get this pullback, this is when I'll start looking to take trades again. So EU, we just got to be patient. Any questions in the chat, let me know, guys. For EUROCAD, we are in V1, right? We're looking for the break of structure. We finally got the break, right? We got the break before we got the pullback to the gap, which is okay, right? Now our next two plays are going to be very simple, right? We're either going to get a simple just break retest to continue back to the top side, right? To go to the previous peak high, or we're going to get price to give us a pullback back into the zone of consolidation, right? Fill this gap up and then continue to push to the top side, right? But right now we know we're at a higher high. So again, after a higher high, after a break of structure, we know we're looking for a pullback. So we just got to be a little patient, right? Wait for the continuations. We have 2 weeks of rise, which is perfect. We know we have gaps in the market, resets the trend, but we're still going to market, right? Where's the gap at the second week? In the second week, price opened up with a gap, filled it, then went completely back up to the top side, right? So at this moment, could we expect price to give us a third week push? It's something that could still happen, but again, we're trading at a higher high. Am I expecting price to make higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, or am I expecting price to make higher highs and higher lows? Right? So at this moment, we're still going to mark this as a third week high. We're still going to keep an eye on it, but this is not really a place of interest where I'm looking to take a trade. Right? On the daily time frame, we had the break. The break gave us this low. Right? We know that we're still trading now between this high over here. We'll update this accordingly. Right, on the 4-hour time frame, same thing. We know we're trading between this high over here and on the 30-minute time frame, you can see we had 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must go sideways or go down. We ended up going down. Price gave us higher high. All of this is going to be part of the same trend. Higher low, higher high. So we're trading between this 30-minute high and this 30-minute low over here. So EUROCAD is another one I'm going to put on the watch list. EUROCAD, third week high. Perfect. For GA, and again guys, a lot of these pairs have the same type of movements. So GA, we're in V2, second zone of consolidation. We're looking for the break. We got the break. We got the retest. Price gave us higher high, higher low, back into the higher high. Right, and we know that we are still trading. We're gonna have to update this, so that's okay. But I'm just gonna keep it like this for now. Right, higher high and higher low. No continuations on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we have 2 weeks of rise. Again, the second week has a gap in the market, resets the trend. So again, putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, the fact that we're trading at a higher high, the fact that we had a break of structure, we know we're going to be looking for a pullback. So again, this third week high, the third week highs that we have currently on ECAD, the ones that we had on EA, right now they are very low probability. They're still low probability trades. However, we're going to keep an eye on it. Right? We know that again for GA, third week high. And on the 30-minute time frame, right? All of this part of the same trend, higher high, higher low, right? I'm not going to mark this as higher high, higher low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. All of this is part of the same trend, higher high, higher low, higher high. So we know that we're trading between this higher high over here and this higher low down here. We also had a really nice engulfing candle here on Thursday. We had a day of no net. Price was moving sideways on Thursday, and then on Friday, price gave us a push to the top side. GBPAUD, third week high. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. My bad, guys. I'm back. I made an eggplant parm and I had it in the oven. Didn't want it to get burnt. So GA, any eggplant parm, eggplant parmesan, man. Yeah, it's fire. Alright, so for GA, we already know. Again, we're trading at a higher high. So again, the probability of this working out, of this third week working out, very low probability. Again, the fact that we have a week on the second week push resets the trend. So we already know, again, the possibility of this, the probability of this working out is very low, right? It's 50-50, right? So again, if we don't get that third week push, that's okay. We know we're going to be looking for price to give us a pullback. We know we'll be looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. Again, right now, looking at how price is moving, this could be a retail trader's dream, right? Could we get price to bounce off the 50 again? Yes, it can. But again, what I'm really looking at this moment is just a pullback. If we could get a pullback between when the market opens tonight at 5 p.m. If Monday, Tuesday could give us a pullback, then we already know Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is going to give us the push to the top side, right? And let's just do the markup, right? Let's talk about what price could do, right? So if we add our fib from the 4-hour low to the 4-hour high, the daily low, the daily high, right? And we start mapping this out exactly how it needs to be, right? You start seeing how everything is working out with each other. Everything, right? Retail trader's dream, right? We know we're going to get a bullish flag pulse pattern, right? We know we're going to be looking for a pullback between 23.6 and 38.2. We know we're in level 3. We know we're looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. So you see how just on the 4-hour time frame, on the daily time frame, nothing, right? Right now on the daily time frame, I'm not looking at that. On the 4-hour, we have 3 different sets of confirmations to get into a trade, knowing that we're going to get a pullback. If we go to the 30-minute time frame, right, and we start looking at where we're at, again, higher high and higher low, right? We're making higher high, higher low, higher high. Could we be looking for a steep pullback on the 30-minute time frame where price is going to reject these highs, give us the push down to the bottom, give us a retest somewhere in this area? And again, I'm giving you guys all the sauce. I don't usually do this, but we're going to do it today. We got the break that happened here, right? The break of structure happened here. What was the last red candle before the push to the top side? When we're looking at structure, we know that our point of interest, I'm going to mark up this entire zone here. I know that I'm going to be looking for a trade somewhere in this area. So again, not only do we have confirmations on the 4-hour, on the 30-minute time frame, we also have our confirmation as to where our pullback could be, right? So again, if Monday, Tuesday could give us a pullback somewhere in this area, this is going to be the perfect entry to take for GA, right? So GA, we just got to be patient with it, wait to see what price wants to do. Once price starts moving, then we move. There's no other way around it. We can't move before price does. Once price gives us an indication as to where it wants to go, that's when I'll start looking to take a trade. Right, so we're going to keep all of this marked. I'm going to change this to purple since that's not a zone that we look at, not a color. Right, and we're going to be looking for a pullback somewhere in this area. Right, so perfect on GA. Any questions, let me know, and we'll go through it. Right, GCAD, we are in level 3. Right, we were in the second zone consolidation, finally got the break of structure. Right after the break, again, we're at a higher high. So our daily time frame high, we just got to change this, put it up to here. No continuations on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour, we already had 3 weeks of rise. Then this week, price gave us another push to the top side. And once again, just start looking for gaps in the market. Right, on the first week, we had a gap. On the second week was good. On the third week was good. Now on this week, let's check. Do we have a gap? We had a gap. Yes, we did. On this candle right here, resets the trend, which is why we had another push to the top side. Right, our 4-hour high is up here. Again, trading at a higher high. I'm gonna be looking for a pullback. And then our 30-minute zone, we had higher high, and higher low, higher high, right? Price kind of just moved sideways and gave us another higher high. So we know that we're trading between this higher high in the 30-minute time frame, this higher low. Correct. Not on the 4 hour, not on the 4 hour daily outlook. Now on the 30-minute, if we could get price to give us a correct, if we could just get a continuation, that'll be our trade. But it's moving the exact same way as the other pairs, right? We had the break of structure, we're at the daily high, we're at the 4 hour high, we're at the 30-minute high, we're at a higher high. On every single time frame, we're at a higher high. So before I could take this trade again, what would be the simplest trade? Well, if Monday, let's say we don't open with a gap, right? And let's say that, let's do this as well. I'll add this to our chart. Right, so let's say market opens here. Let's add a few lines here just so I can map this out with you guys. Right, so if Monday, right, Friday gave us 1 day of rise, right? If Monday gives us, I mapped that out horrible. If Monday we could get price to give us that 2nd day of rise, and then at the end of Monday's session going into Tuesday we get a pullback, then we know that for Tuesday, what are we looking for? We're looking for price to give us that 3rd day high again. So if Monday gives us a day of rise, we already know we'll have a 372, and then Tuesday we'll take this trade over here. This is what I'll be looking for when it comes to price. The 372. Correct. No, rise. Oh well, yeah, if it goes this low, but not a rise, no, just a day of rise. I just made it a little bit lower. But if we get a rise no net on the 3rd day, then we know that for the 4th day, which would be Wednesday, that's when we'll be looking for that 4th day variation to the top side. Right, so right now for GCAD, nothing here on the 4 hour daily again. It's just more about being patient, waiting to see what price wants to do. We do have an engulfing candle here as well that price hasn't tapped into yet, so we'll mark this up. But again, this engulfing candle is at a higher high, so it's the same with every strategy, right? It doesn't matter what strategy you're learning, who you're learning it from. Give me 1 second, guys. My God. Right, so just like every strategy, right? Again, I could teach you guys double bottoms, double tops, engulfing candles, exhaustion candles, order blocks, smart money concepts, smart Raja concepts. It doesn't matter what I could teach you. I could teach you all the strategies in the rulebook. But again, market structure is key. If you are trading higher highs and higher lows, right? Are you going to be looking for price? Are you going to be looking for entries on a buy position at a higher high? Or are you going to be looking for buy positions at the higher low? At the higher low. Right now, we are trading higher high, higher low, higher high. So the probability of this engulfing candle being a real engulfing candle is very low probability, because again, we are trading at a higher high. Now, if we can make a higher low, right? If we could get a pullback, this would be so much better of an entry than this one here. Right, so this is where you see a lot of the traders like, oh, my entry was here, my stop loss was down here, and then they hit my stop loss and then they went up. Right, this is the reason why you're getting hit out. It's because you're trading at a higher high without looking for a pullback. Once you get a set pullback, that's when you should start looking to take trades. So again, I'm still going to mark up this engulfing candle. I'm not even going to go into much detail, but we'll be looking at this during our live trading sessions in the morning to see how price is reacting. But again, we are trading at a higher high in every single time frame. I will be looking for price to give me a pullback before we do anything else. So GCAD, go on to the next one. GJ. GJ, I'm not really trading it, so I'm just really going to be updating it. You know, daily time frame, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. We're stuck in a little zone of consolidation where we can see price has just been rejecting lows the entire time, rejecting highs the entire time. We have no continuations on the daily time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we have a weaker rise last week. This week, price ended up giving us another weaker rise. Now, could we expect the third week push to the top side? Right, again, the fact that we have been rejecting the lows of the zone consolidation and we started making internal higher highs and higher lows is looking promising. Right, so GJ, we also know that we have a gap on the second week. Resets the trend. So again, am I expecting this third week push to be given? No, because of that gap. However, could it still give us the push? Absolutely. Right, our job is to wait for market structure. Third week high. And then on the 30-minute time frame, we had a day of drop on Thursday, and then on Friday price gave us a day of rise. And let's look at the 1 hour. Do we have any engulfing candles? No engulfing candles in the 4, nothing on the 1, nothing on the 30. Right. So right now for GJ, we just got to be a little patient. It's looking good. So GJ, we'll put that on our watch list for that third week push to the top side. GBPJPY, third week high. GU, we are in V1 still, right? First zone of consolidation in an uptrend. We had the break of structure. We got the pullback, right? On the daily time frame, we could see that price was giving us lower low, lower high, lower low, and finally gave us a higher high. Right, we had a daily engulfing candle that price still hasn't tapped into. Right, red, red, green. Each candle has a top and a bottom wick. Green candle closed above the body of the first red candle, but we still haven't gotten that pullback. On the 4-hour time frame, we had a week of drop, and then this week price gave us a week of rise. Price still making higher highs. We gotta update this 4-hour high here. We're trading between this higher high and this higher low at the bottom. And then on the 30-minute time frame, we are trading higher high, higher low. All of this is part of the same trend, right? Until higher high, higher low, higher high. So we're trading between this 30-minute high and this 30-minute low over here. We had a day of drop on Thursday, and then on Friday price gave us a day of rise. But again, just like all these other pairs, right now for GU we are trading at a higher high, so I am going to be looking for a pullback. Now, could we be looking for a steep pullback this week into the daily engulfing candle? It could happen, right? However, at this point this is a very, very steep pullback. So we'll see what price wants to do in these areas, right? We know that in the 4-hour, all we're trading is between the change of character. We don't have a break of structure just yet, right? After the change of character, price just moved sideways and then gave us that push to the top side. So again, could price come back down into the zone? Absolutely. We still don't have a break of, we still don't have a retest of this area. As soon as price gave us that break, it just went up, never gave us a pullback, right? So could we potentially see price reject these highs, give us a retest into the daily engulfing, and then push up to the top side? Absolutely. Right, so GU, we just got to be a little patient, wait it out, and we'll act accordingly once we get into our zones. US30, I'm not doing this breakdown on stream. Again, I talked about it in the last couple of sessions. A lot of people in here just starting to trade, so I don't want to get anybody's too many people have been messaging me that they've blown accounts because they're trading US30 and they're trading gold and they're trading Bitcoin when they shouldn't be trading it. So I'm not going to be doing the breakdowns on US30 on stream anymore. Still gonna mark them up. If you know, you know. But I'm not going to be doing a full breakdown on this one. Just give me a second to update my chart and then we'll go from there. Fuck. Thank you. Only question I have but can be answered at the end of the stream is like if you were what? At the end of the stream is you were like for a new formation PCAD to be formed, a new high and low has to be formed. Please explain on stream when you're done. Yeah, so pretty much, you know, we could do that now. So market maker's pattern. We know that the market maker's pattern is the M, right? So you have the M, A, and then the W, right? You have the first level. We'll mark this. We'll mark this exactly how everybody should have their charts marked. So first and foremost, right? This is PCAD territory, right? PCAD territory. We know that this is peak low territory, right? We also know we have the 800 EMA and we'll add that up, right? After the W is formed, right? So W, push 1, push 2, push 3, right? So we have level 1, we have level 2, and we have level 3, right? And same thing over here, level 2, level 3, level 1, right? In between each level, you have a zone of consolidation, right? So you have A1, right? A1 is the first zone of consolidation, and then you have A2, which is the second zone of consolidation. And then in the uptrend, you have V1, which is the first zone of consolidation. And then you have V2, which is the second zone of consolidation. Right? In order for you to go on to the next trend, right? In order for you to go from W back to M, right? The previous peak high needs to be broken. Once the previous peak high is broken, this is where it turns back around and you do the same thing, right? Push 1, push 2, push 3, right? And then the same thing. In order for you to go back from the M back to the W, right? The previous peak low needs to be broken. I hope that makes sense, Mike. Let me know. And it's the same thing. After the M, you have level 1, level 2, level 3. You have the first zone of consolidation, you have the second zone of consolidation, you have the new peak high territory, and then you have the new peak low territory. And then the same thing after the W is formed, right? You have push 1, push 2, push 3 back up to the highs, right? And then to continue. I can't go any further than this, but you guys get the gist. In order for you to have a new market makers pattern formed, the new high or a new low needs to be formed. I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to screenshot this. Let me know if that made sense, Mike, and then we'll go on to the next pair. If you need me to show it to you on an actual chart instead of a drawing, let me know and we could do that too. Hey man, you really like that NZD pair, huh? I got you. Do it on NZD. Alright, we'll do that at the end of the stream since NZD is not a pair that I look at. We'll do that at the end of the stream. I got you. Alright, so right now for US30, we're stuck still in the zone of consolidation. We have no continuations. And then on the 30-minute, we're still making lower low and lower high. So we'll see what price wants to do here. USDCAD. And USDCAD is another good example of the market makers pattern. Look, this is like not only do I have it drawn out, but it's the same thing, right? You have the M, you have first push, second push, third push, right? You have peak high and peak low, right? You have the first push, the second push, the third push. The third push made the new peak high. After the new peak high is made, this is where I'm gonna start looking for price to turn back around now. Now I'm looking for price to give us the double top. I'm looking for a zone of consolidation. I'm looking for a shoulder head shoulder. I'm giving something that's going to indicate that this is now the new peak high, and this is where we'll start looking for price to turn back around. So the USD-CAD is one of the easiest pairs to look at because the market makers pattern is picture perfect. Alright, so for USD-CAD, we have 2 months where price has just been moving sideways. Again, we're in peak high territory, so I'm not really looking to take any trades up here in this area. On the 4-hour time frame, right, we had 2 weeks of rise. This past week being the 3rd week push gave us a 3rd week high and then ended up on a drop. So again, because we're still in peak high territory, I'm still going to mark this as a rise drop. Could we expect price to give us a 4th week push to the top side? It could be given. However, the pullback that we had is so steep that I'm not expecting price to give us that push. But again, looking at all the rules, we have exhaustion candles at the bottom. We have a bearish engulfing candle that price has been rejecting, right? You know that a nice engulfing candle is if price taps into it once and then leaves. The fact that price tapped into it 1, 2, 3, 4 different times before going down gave us an exhaustion candle, and price came back up and tapped it again here 5 different times. It's already letting me know that this is probably where price is going to start pushing up. Right, on the 4-hour we could also see that price has turned around from lower low, lower high, lower low back up to higher high. So now on the 30-minute time frame, right, we had 2 days of drop. It gave us 3 days of drop on Thursday. Right, after 3 days of drop, market must go sideways or go up, and it went up on Friday. Right, and again, lower low, lower high, lower low. Price then gave us a change of character, higher high here. So we already know if we could get that break of structure, then we're crystal clean path back up to the top side. So we know that we're trading between this change of character, higher high, and the higher low. Right, so now if price, again, if price could give us the break, the retest, then we know we could go back up to the top side to make that new weekly high. So for USD CAD, we're gonna go ahead and mark this as a 4th week push, 4th week high variation, and we're gonna draw this out on Discord as well. USD CAD, 3rd week high variation. Again, Mike, let me know if that USD CAD if that USDCAD daily time, if that kind of answered your question. I'll still do it on NZD USD for you, but let's finish this first. USDZAR, we're in V2, we're in the second. Okay. Correct. Hold on, Mike. Hold on. Hold on.
I think N would be the perfect example. Did I want it to just have in drop or
You can hear us, Mike?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Hold on. What was your question, Kendo? Yep. Because if on the third week push, right, vice versa. If you got a drop rise, or if you got a rise drop, if you don't get a clean rise, you're gonna be expecting that fourth week push. So for example, in this case, since we got a rise drop on the third week, I'm expecting the fourth week to give me another push. If you get a rise no net, same thing. Or vice versa. If you have 2 weeks of drop and on the third week price gave you a drop no net, then you know you're looking for another push down to the bottom. Or if you get a drop rise, you know price is going to give you another push down to the bottom. Not that it wasn't the cleanest, it didn't finish at the top, right? Because we know that after if price gives you a clean 3 weeks of rise, then you know that after 3 weeks of rise the market must go down or go sideways, right? But if the market already gave you in the same week, it gave you the new high. After the new high, we know we're looking for price to move sideways or go down. Since price gave you the push down to the bottom, then you know that you could be expecting another higher high to be made, right? Or vice versa. Like for example, you have 3 days of rise, right? 1, 2, 3. If on the third day you finish at the high, then you know that the next day you're gonna get price to either move sideways, or you know price is just gonna give you a push down to the bottom, right? But if on the third day, right, push 1, push 2, push 3, right? If on the third day price ends already on a no net, right, then you know, okay, after 3 days of rise, market must move sideways or go down. The fact that price technically moved sideways, since it gave you a no net, you already know that the probability of this continuing to push to the top side is a lot higher. Alright, Mike, what was your question?
Okay, remember when I showed you NTD, you're now like that was where you now basically see yourself for peak high to peak low. But it seems that I'm still kind of confused, honestly.
Okay, we'll do it after the stream. I got you. We'll do it after we finish with the last pair. We'll go ahead and look at NZD USD. Right, so for USD CAD, we also have a 30-minute engulfing candle here in these levels. So again, we're gonna be very patient with USD CAD. Once again, that engulfing candle happening after a change of character is very low probability. So could this entry work out? Of course, 100% it could work out, but it's still low probability. I would much rather miss this trade here and catch the 100% trade, which is going to be if and when price gives me the break of structure. I'll catch this trade to then continue the push to the top side. And again, USD CAD, we're looking at a 20 pip stop loss anyway, so not bad, but I would much rather catch something a lot smaller. Now, could price, let's add this back, could we go more into detail on the 30-minute time frame to look for an entry here at this engulfing candle? Yeah, of course. You know, if we could go down into the 1 minute or the 5-minute time frame, right, and we could see that even in the 5-minute, we'll use the 5-minute as an example, we're still making higher high, higher low, higher high. So we already know that if price goes down into the 30-minute engulfing, respects these lows, and starts giving us internal higher highs and higher lows, then we know we could take these trades down here to continue to push to the top side. And instead of using the low of the engulfing candle as a stop loss, right, I'll just be using the low of the structure. So once we get the change of character break of structure, I could either go ahead and start using this low as a stop loss, or we could go even tighter and use these lows down here. So we'll go from using a 20 pip stop to now anywhere between 5 to 10 pips to continue. Exactly. Correct. So then USDZAR, we said we were in V2. We still don't have a break of the high. We still have these gaps at the bottom of the market. We have 2 months where price has just been moving sideways. Still seeing lower lows and lower highs in the structure. Right, on the 4-hour time frame, we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, change of character, lower high, and then price gave us a lower low break of structure. So we know that we're trading between this 4-hour high and this 4-hour low over here. It's a very small zone. Price gave us a bullish engulfing candle, but this engulfing candle is not valid. No top wick on this green candle, or actually there is, just very small. Very small wick on that green candle. But again, price is making lower lows and lower highs. So we want to be very, very patient with USDZAR. And again, not only is price making lower lows and lower highs, but we still have that gap at the bottom of the market. So the fact that we still have this gap, low probability trades going high. And then on the 30-minute time frame, let's see if we could see anything different, right? So we had 3 days of drop, right? We had the first day, we had the second day, we had the third day. Price gave us another push down to the bottom, right? And we know we were trading, let's see, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. Then price went down and gave us a change of character, lower low. All of this is part of the same trend. This isn't lower low, lower high, lower low. All of this is part of the same trend, and we're trading between this low and this high up here. So we know we had a day of rise on Friday. So at this moment, again, we're still trading lower lows and lower highs. So gonna be very patient with USDZAR before looking for any entries. Now again, could we use this as a point of interest to look for trades down here to go back up to the top side? Of course. So we're gonna mark it, but this is low probability when it comes to entries. Gold is another one that I'm not going to give the breakdowns to on stream, similar to US30, but I am gonna update it. So 2 months of rise, we're still on the 3rd month. On the 4-hour, we have a week of rise. We have a change of character inducement. We still got a gap here at the bottom of the market as well. And then on the 30-minute, we had 3 days of rise. On the 3rd day, rise no net. Could we expect price to give us a push to the top side? Didn't give it to us on the 4th day, but it gave it to us on the next day. Had a day of drop, and then we had a day of no net again. Price is just moving sideways up here. And we know we had price give us lower low, lower high, lower low, and then now gave us a change of character, higher high. So we are trading between this 30-minute high and these 30-minute lows down here. And again, this is where price is just moving sideways. So I'm not going to be looking for any trades until we either break, retest to continue, or if we continue to get rejections of the lows, we know we could take these trades at the bottom to continue that push to the top side. Especially if we could get a break, right? Because we got a change of character. We got a change of character, we got a little pullback. If we could get that break of structure retest, then we know we'll catch that trade back to the top side. But again, we want to be very careful with this gap here at the bottom of the chart. Bitcoin is another one that I'm not, well, Bitcoin and oil, we're not really going to do a full breakdown on them, since again, these are very big pairs that beginner traders should not be trading. So pretty much done, and then we'll do NZD USD right after. I got you, Mike. You still here?
Yeah.
All right.
Locked in.
Yeah, 2 weeks of drop. We have a no net. Price is still at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. Still trading between this high and this low. And on the 30-minute, we have lower low, lower high, lower low, change of character, higher high, and higher low. And then we had a day of rise. No net. No net.
Nah, it's Sunday.
Day of drop. And then oil, we are in A1. We're in the first zone of consolidation, looking for that second push to the bottom. At the low of consolidation, not the best spot to look for a trade, but we'll be looking for continuations. Add a few lines here real quick. Then on the 4 hour, we have a week of drop, no continuation, still trading between the same 4 hour low and 4 hour high. Still making lower lows and lower highs. And then on the 30-minute, we have the same thing, lower low, lower high, lower low. We had 3 days of drop. After 3 days of drop, market was moved sideways or go up. It moved sideways and gave us a no net, and then gave us a day of rise on Friday. Gave us a nice engulfing candle too. Okay. So NZD USD. Right. So once again, daily time frame on NZD USD. It's very simple. Right. The previous pattern, which was the uptrend, the W, right? We had push 1, push 2, push 3. So we know that peak high is up here. Right. So we're gonna label this peak high. We're gonna put this green. This is how everybody's charts should be looking. Right. You have peak high. And you have peak low. Right, that's the first thing. Right. You have level 1. You have level 2. You have level 3. Right. Then you have V1, or first zone of consolidation. Then you have V2, second zone of consolidation. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Then you have the double top. Right? After the double top, you already know that price has to give you a new low. Before price could turn around, before we could say that we're starting the uptrend push, we know that price needs to make from the from the uptrend going to the downtrend, right? You know that
Yeah.
price needs to make a new low before we could say that price is starting the uptrend push.
Okay.
Right? So this is where you have level 1, first zone of consolidation, right? First zone of consolidation is A1. You have level 2. All of this here is the first zone, is the second zone of consolidation.
Yeah.
Right? You have the second zone of consolidation. Exactly.
Oh.
So we know that in order for us to start looking for uptrends, right? In order for us to say, oh, this is the W, this is the double bottom where we're looking for the first push. In order for us to say that, we need to see price make a new low. Right now we're just stuck in a zone of consolidation.
Oh. Okay,
Oh yeah, I do.
okay.
I just haven't
Yeah,
updated
yeah.
this. But yeah, let's not
Now
confuse
now
anybody.
it makes sense, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now it makes sense.
No, this I just haven't updated it. I don't really update this.
So basically, for like, let me see, for us now to see that any is in an option, we must have previous peak low and wait for the single character to break the structure.
Correct. And then the
Okay,
same
now
thing, once we make a new low, right? Price is gonna give us a double bottom, is gonna give us a shoulder head shoulder. We're gonna get the first push, the second push, and the third push. Once we get this
yeah,
third
but like,
push, we'll be looking for price to tap into the previous peak high, and then this is where we'll look for price to turn back around again, to go back down.
yeah, but like, can't price just like barely miss it and start the new option, or like it's the most that we must
No, it's
cross previous low?
99% of the time it's always going to give you that new low.
Okay,
Unless
okay,
the
okay.
times that is not going to give you that new low is, let's say, this candle here, right? We can see that this candle here is kind of like a doji candle, right? It's more wick than a body. But let's say a candle, let's say a candle prints where it's just a big wick with just a small body, then the new low, instead of it being the wick, is just going to be the body of the candle. That makes sense? You see how here
Yeah,
we have
but
the low marked as a wick? If this would
yeah,
have been a candle looking like this, where it's just like, for example, this candle here. If this candle here would have been here, then instead of looking for the new low at the wick, I'll be looking for the new low at the body.
okay, a new candle like that.
Correct.
Makes sense. So, wait, but Jumper, in the case of when any started like uptrend for the push then V1, we never had like the character. No, 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 at the left. No, the other side.
Here?
Like the former peak low.
Right here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But we never had a single character in V1.
Not in the daily time frame, no.
So in a case like this, yeah, so trade or that's
No,
for more
I wouldn't take a trade here. I'd take a trade after the first zone of consolidation going into level 2.
Okay, yeah, because it's more easy to see the outflow of left ones today. Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
because in the daily time frame, this is where we started getting the change of character break of structures. Right, so any of these trades down here were low probability. Instead of taking a trade here, I'll take a trade after the fact. I'll take trades here. That makes sense? Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, 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 true.
The previous high needs to be broken. And since this candle is a big ass wick, instead of looking for that new high to be up here, I'll be looking for that new high to just be the body of the candle, which is here.
Candle smart.
Any other questions?
Nah, nah, nah. It's all it, man. It, that was just all I needed just to like confirm because like I know that the pattern is A1, A2 and the EMA placement, but like when you were like a new high or low has to be formed, I was not like tweaking it anyway. It's all good now, bro. It's all good.
Alright, bet. What's up? You said EA.
EA.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Correct. Yes.
Uncle Jumper giving us the pill.
Gotta get ready to change my diaper soon, man. Especially if I get back on that bike, man. Fucking bones still hurt. Everything, bro. Broken fucking collarbones. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's all it is a structure. Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah, but kind of. I was still to say like the type one, type two, and type three patterns. It has this video that I was watching. That okay, like let me for example now price making higher, high, higher low. We now see consolidation. Like once you see that consolidation, we still know it's an uptrend. Just for you to figure out what type pattern that's gonna happen. So the pattern is still good. Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah. Touch actually just like this break and retest.
Like the only one just knowing how to something like that.
Yeah. To me, like, honestly, like the concepts are really simple. Just have the feel for it. Like, just like when they tell you the break is let's say one candle stays above, the next one is not supposed to stays above the previous candle with. Like, the simple rules. Then high and low, you say you look at the more just for the fishes. Like, to me, it's kind of simple, but like you have to put in time for you to trust it.
Demo trading.
It's when I get into the jumper, bro. Soon.
I already started. So I started last week. I took one last week.
Yeah, I know, man. Just hard, you told us. Nah, it's not my fault, man. Like, yeah, but you learned something.
I did. Don't trade counter. Well, not even don't trade counter. Just knowing what to trade counter. Like if that trade happens again type stuff. What I take. Or
Yeah.
would it have a higher probability of playing out against whatever why?
Yeah, but it's not my fault. Like, I could have been in entry if Eric was around, like, 2, 3 weeks ago, but no, got so funky jumper.
You gotta call him the unk, man. He's the real unk here, not me.
Alright. What's in the old, like, isolation set? He always took you jumper.
Always, bro. Shit's
Oh,
that shit never
but
fails,
like, why
man.
does he took you, bro? It's like, I'm sure that jumper is already in his pajamas in bed. He wants you, he wants you to hurry up so that he can go and sleep.
Which is facts. He's not wrong. I was telling Callum the other day, like, this motherfucker EU some do the isolation sessions. You fucking take them 4 or 5 hours. We start at 7, and it's fucking 12 a.m. and this motherfucker is still talking. I'm like, nah, man. Like, I got school in the morning.
Yeah, you told me that back in the day, like during isolation sessions like these, you guys do like 30, 40, even 50 pairs.
Yeah,
But many people want to know, oh, this, that. That's crazy, bro.
yeah. We used to
That's
do
like a
every
webinar.
single pair. We used to sit here and do every single pair.
That's a webinar, bro.
Mhm.
That's no session.
But that's just what it is. Cause again, like, you have your, something that we've always said is, you have your trading journal. It doesn't matter what pair you're trading. You're looking for your rules to play out. If you're only looking at one pair, how many times have you seen us not take a trade for a few days, for a few weeks, because the 10 pairs we're looking at don't have moves? But if you're
Yeah, I know.
looking at 30, 40 different pairs, something has to give. You're gonna see something happening in one of the pairs.
Yeah, 100%.
So, that's the reason why we're not married to one pair. We look at every single pair, we trade them the exact same way, and we're looking for our rules to play out. If our rules are played out, we take the trade. But yeah, this motherfucker used to sit there for 4 or 5 hours, and everybody's in the chat like, man, we gotta go to bed. Like, I remember Donovan, the one that's still in our group. He's like
Yeah.
6 or 7 hours ahead of us. So he used to stay up for the entire session too. That guy's a trooper.
Jeez. That's passion, bro. You can't beat that. That's passion.
That's what it is, man.
Where's Kendall at now?
He got a phone call.
Oh.
But any other questions before I turn the stream off?
Nah. It was self-explanatory, bro.
That
That's it. What time will you be free tomorrow? Because I'm free tomorrow.